Hi, I'm Taylor Sanderson and this is Nigerian Dwarf Farm. Today I'm going to tell you everything I know about bucks and how to house them and how to keep them in a pen. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and remember to please subscribe and like. And if you're looking for breeder goats, milk goats, Nigerian dwarfs, mini La Manches, well, let me know. I'll leave my website in the description down below and we can have a discussion about that. The goats and the sheep are waiting for the corn and soybeans to be fed them, so they're making plenty of noise. So just ignore them. I'm going to get to them in a minute. The most recent addition I made to my pen was to make a double fence system, and let me show you what that is. I know we've all seen lots of goat pens before, but I don't think you've ever seen one like this. What I've done is I put a fence inside of a fence. The reason I did that, it seems like the goats and the sheep always seem to be able to get out during breeding season sometime. Here you see I have one gate right here I just installed to this 6x6 post I put in the ground, and this post also holds up this gated fence right here I got from Tractor Supply. I drove T-post in the ground, and to the T-post I attached cattle panel. And then inside of the cattle panel I put this goat and sheep fencing, and that will keep the smaller goats from passing through. Should they come in from this side over here, somehow if they were to get in through the fence and gate, I could stop them right here and keep them from coming in and getting to the bucks. And one thing I did after I put the cattle panel up inside of that fence that was already existing, I decided, well, you know, if they do get through the fence that I put up on the inside, well then probably the best thing to do is try to keep them from getting access to all the fence on the other side. So what I did, I put cattle panel right here to stop them from being able to get all the way around the fence. So they can run a little ways inside if they get through this first interior fence, but then they're stuck trying to get through the rest of it, which they've been trying to do now for quite some time without any luck. So that greatly lessens their chances of being able to get through both gates before I catch them and repair any damages that they have made. Now if you notice, my trees have plenty of shade. They get underneath these eastern cedar trees, and over here they can get behind this barn and they can get plenty of shade during the day. And that's important for the goats to be able to get out of the hot sun. It's like what we call air conditioning in our homes. But for the goats and the sheep, it's called just shade. And the double fencing can also act as a hay feeder. You can see they're finding some hay. So sandwiched in between the interior and the exterior fence is some hay for them to eat. So serves kind of like a dual purpose. Now I use this county line watering trough, and it holds quite a bit of water. A lot more water than they would ever get to drink in one day. So say if I don't feel like filling it up, there's still plenty of water for the next day and even the day after. But what I always try to do is to dump it out every day and let them start out with fresh, clean water. I use this cut in half culvert pipe. It's kind of like a plastic, a very tough plastic, and it seems to be almost indestructible. I mean, I've seen the goats do just about everything that they can to it, and it's still in one piece and it doesn't seem to be really damaged at all. I put a few holes in the center of it to drain water in case there's some water getting in it, and you can see on each side It looks like little holes going through it. Well, those are little holes. What I do if I have rain, or just about every day, I'll turn it over and dump out any corn that may have spilled in it when I'm feeding the corn, you know, putting it in the feeder. And that keeps the flies from getting in there and the smell of the bad corn. And so that's pretty much all you have to do with this feeder. We're inside their barn where they come to stay out of the rain, and there are a few things about this that I particularly like. There's a lot of light getting into it, and if you can see, the sides on two sides are open up, where you'll see plenty of sun and wind coming through here. So ventilation, that's extremely important when you have goats and hay where they lay on. They'll pee and poop all in it, and if it doesn't have a place to dry, it'll just get there and become a mess. But this works out great, and this also is where I store a few bales of hay. And so this is a combination hay barn, buck pen, and I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. Well, some people might say this old fig tree that's nothing but dead branches needs to come out of the pen. Well, I disagree. They love to rub on it. They love to jump on it a little bit. It's something they definitely enjoy in the pen. And another thing, here's an old pine straw, pine shat baler. Some of them, and I'm talking about Taylor's companion, the great big tan goat right here. He loves to jump on it, so it's a great play toy for them to get on. Now, you see Moonstone, he's jumping on it, and he's got to rub his head a little bit. It definitely serves a purpose. I'm going to keep it in here. Well, the goats are getting excited whenever they see the corn and the soybeans coming by. I feed them a combination of 3 parts corn to 1 part soybeans, and that gives me about a 14% or 12 to 14% protein mix. And that's what they need. Don't need any more protein than that. And wow, they're gonna like this corn. Here it comes. There's one thing to be sure of. There's no substituting good old goat mineral that you buy from the store to give the goats every day. I feed them 1/3 of an ounce per goat every day. I mix it up and I put it in this jar, and to that jar I also add 4.5 grams of pulverized lime. I just said 4.5 grams that I give them in this jar. I want to correct that. I give them 4.5 grams per pound that I feed them. And I feed the goats 1/2 pound of grain every day. So that would be 4 times 4.5 grams, which would be, 18, 20 grams, something like that, of pulverized limestone that I add with their minerals every day. And that's good if you're feeding a lot of, hay that is high in phosphorus, and corn and soybeans, a lot of grain. It helps them out a lot. And a lot of people might say, I can get this sheep mineral, this all-purpose mineral, and it's a lot cheaper and I don't have to feed them as much. Well, it's a case of you get what you pay for. There's no substitute for this goat mineral. It has copper in there and other things that goats desperately need. And one of the things you don't want to skimp on is a good high-quality goat mineral for your goats. And watch them go for it. They love it. Well, they think that's just the cat's meow to get the mineral in the morning. I enjoy feeding it to them almost as much as I think they enjoy having it to feed on. And something I try to do every 2 months or so is to trim these bucks' hooves. And I've learned that the more expensive clippers you get for goats, probably you're getting a whole lot better deal than if you're buying a less expensive pair of clippers. These I just tried. They're called ARS, and they're made in Japan. And they have stayed sharp for quite a long time. I'm very happy with them. The last thing I want to do is, after I go to the trouble of catching a goat and putting it on the milk stand and getting it all ready to trim its hooves, the clippers just go dull on you. So I like these. I don't know, if they're really, what you need for everyone. If you just have a few goats, maybe a cheaper pair. But I have lots of goats, and I think I'm going to stick with these. And it's also important for the goats to get this CD&T vaccine once per year. No matter what size your goat or sheep are, it's 2 cc's. And you insert it underneath of their skin with a needle. Well, that's all I have today for my bucks, the buck pen, and how to feed them and care for them. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!